San Diego State's basketball team right now 13-10, 5-6 in the conference. It's the road that's killing them. They're 2-7, 7-3 at home. Going to need a crowd on Sunday. Here's Coach Fisher back on Scott and BR. Hi, Coach.
Hi, gang. How we doing?
Doing really good. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks.
You catch any of this Charles Oakley story? It seems like everybody's talking about.
I really haven't, other than I saw it go across the scroll last night. I don't have any details, but nothing should surprise any of us.
That is the truth.
Coach, I'm going to ask you the same question that everybody who's an Aztec fan would want to ask you, which is, what's going on with your team? What's wrong?
That's a very good question and a valid question. And it's a host of things. If it was an easy fix, we would have done it weeks ago. It never seems to be quite the same. That being said, our number 1 and 1A bullet points have been issues to take care of the ball and rebound the ball. So we played pretty good defense, Scott, although I went back and looked and compared our stats this year to what we were last year. And surprisingly, we were 11-0 last year after 11 games. Individual stats, a lot of them are very similar in terms of Trey and in fact, Dakari's are better. Jeremy, the one area where we're down in the most is defending the three-point shot. And that you'd say, well, it's not that big a deal. Or overall field goal defense is 40%. Last year it was 39% at this time. But we're giving up 35% threes. And last year we were at about 30%. That's a huge difference. So that's one thing we looked at. But really the difference is having somebody do what Trey Kell did for us at Fresno. And that's when you're 1 point ahead, make a big basket. He did that. We're 1 point ahead, he made a huge three out of transition. Then when you're 2 ahead, and it looks like you're going to have a hard time even getting a shot, make another one, which he did again. We were up 3. He hit a long, hard 3 at the buzzer to put us up 6. And we won a tough game against maybe the hottest team in the league at the time. They'd won 13 straight home Mountain West games. So, we lost to a team that we're better than. That being said, now they've won 3 in a row, San Jose State. And they have an MVP All-League candidate in Clark, who was 11 for 15 again against the field, from the field against us. And they played better. And they, I said, you get what you deserve. In that game, we got what we deserved. They played better. But nobody thought we would be 13-10. Nobody thought we would be 5-6, but that's who we are right now. So we're fighting hard, all of us, and we're trying to do all the things that we can possibly do to help this team. So it's not us against them. It's not, we're all on the same team. I've told our players that. But we have to do something. Nothing will change unless we do. Even subtly, we have to have a little better look and feel, and that will, I think, help with outcome.
Coach Steve Fisher, San Diego State basketball coach on Scott and BR on the Mighty 1090 this Sunday, 1 p.m. tip against Nevada, a team that beat San Diego State earlier this season, 72-69. Coach, you mentioned Trey Kell and coming up with big shots late in games. Is that it? Like, there just doesn't seem to be a go-to guy. There's not a DJ Gay. There's not an Akil Quinn type. I don't know. Maybe this is a perception. Tell me what you think. Is there an emotional leader on this team?
Well, Zylan wants to be that. He has to do it the right way. He has to have his own play grow, which means slow down a little bit. He, because of the stress reaction in his foot, missed 2 games, limited duty in the last 2. And when he's played, he's tried to go too fast. He's reverted back to old form as a freshman where he was doing things before he, thought what he wanted to do. He just started doing something. And you can't do that. But he's the one guy that could be that emotional leader. He wants to be that guy. So we've talked about it, and you have to do it the right way. It can't be just frustration, yelling, let's go, let's go. It's got to be take a deep breath, let's make that next play. We're all right. We're fine. So he would be the one guy that I would say has the best personality to do that.
Is that a missing ingredient?
Probably, to some degree.
Yeah.
I think rather than emotional leader, Scott, I think what you said before is what we've not had consistency with. The number one guy that did that for us when he played was Jamal Franklin.
Yeah, Jamal was all energy.
He didn't care what anybody thought.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to play, and he was going to play as hard as he could. He sometimes would do things that people would say, what is he doing? But you knew he was going to be there. He was unafraid to take, and he made a lot of big shots for us and a lot of big plays. You mentioned DJ. DJ did that in a different way. He was a Trey Kelk kind of leader where everybody knew, give DJ the ball and the right play will be made. If it's him shooting it, if it's him finding one of his teammates, he did those things that allowed you to have a chance to win. And then it wasn't always DJ, but we've found a way to win.
And there have been others. I mean, I'm not coming up with names like bang, 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 but there were so many kids that it seemed, Coach, over the last, call it 10 years, you could just count on at the end. You wanted the ball in his hand. And, just the other night watching that San Jose State game, guys are getting shots. They're just not dropping. So no one has kind of stepped out as when the game's on the line, give me the ball. Trey would be maybe the guy and has had some success, but when the game is on the line and we got to score, give me the ball. And it's just my perception.
Play through that one individual. And, we're getting ready to play Nevada, and Jeremy had his best offensive performance of his career. He had 30 points, 6 for 12 from three-point range, and played with great confidence. He went into a bit of a drought, and I think that sapped his confidence. We talked about it. He said after San Jose that he felt like he was out of it, out of the drought, that he felt a lot better, even though he didn't have great numbers. He played more aggressively. So, if it were an easy fix, as I said earlier, we'd have fixed it a long time ago. So we just going to stay with it, and you can't be playing in fear. And I've always taken great pride in teams that I've coached. If I did one thing, I helped them feel like they were superior, feel like they were at times better than they really were. And then all of a sudden you play that way. And that's what I want. I don't want them looking at me when they make a mistake. And, so it's not from lack of try, but we just have not been able to make enough big plays. And San Jose State, we had 17 offensive rebounds, but we couldn't finish after we got the rebound. Not to the level you should with 17 offensive rebounds. So, but we rebounded the ball, right, and we kept them from rebounding the ball, which is what was one of our bullet points.
But every one of those kids that's on this team, they were kids as they watched the progression of San Diego State basketball, and they saw whether it was Kawhi or DJ or Jamal Franklin, X-Thames, AQ. I mean, they've seen the last 10 years, and all of those kids came to San Diego State because they wanted to play in front of 12,414. They wanted to play in the NCAA tournament, and they wanted to be the next in line. And there's so much, it seems, talent on this team. We're like all just waiting. Who's going to step up? Who's going to emerge? Who's not going to quit, on the season? Who's going to realize they can go to the Mountain West Conference tournament and still make it to the tournament and still accomplish all your goals? Just waiting.
I can appreciate what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. And we are trying like crazy, as I said. What was disappointing about the last game, Scott, was that since Air Force, and I think I said this on the show last time I was on, we've had great practices And we've played pretty good basketball. We played pretty good even though we got beat by Colorado State at the buzzer. Our game performance has been better. We've been making progress. But we took a step back in the San Jose State game. And, we talked about it. And I don't have all the answers. I say that. This is not my team. This is our team. And together we've got to fight our way through it. The moment you start to kind of let up a little bit, this is my job, to not allow that to happen, whether it be a coach or a player or anybody affiliated with the program, we cannot let that happen. We won't let it happen. And together we just have to say we got 7 games left. Let's see what we can do Sunday. We're good enough to win. This is probably the most talented team in the league. This is right now the best team in the league. They're 18-5, tied for first, and they are the best scoring team and rebounding team in the league. So we're going to have to guard them like we do and then rebound the ball after they take a shot. They had way too many second chance points in our first encounter. We only had 7 turnovers. If we have 7 turnovers on Sunday, we'll win the game.
Well, that game was on January 4th, so it was a long time ago. And you hear Coach say that. We don't have that many more games left to go before the conference tournament. Coach, Sunday, encouraging everybody to come out. It's a 1 o'clock tip. Be a nice afternoon for the family. It would be nice to get the buzz back in the building and get 12,414. Get the student section, the show, to get back into it. That's what we need. I mean, we need kind of everybody together. The team on the floor, the people in the stands, the student section. We need to all do it together.
I 100% agree with you. You guys have been great talking about that and talking about how they can do it. And I'm smart enough to know that winning has a way of getting those that are on the fence. So should we go? It gets the extra group there. But we need them there. We need them there. I watched last night Vegas at Nevada, and that's a rivalry, the 2 in-state schools. They had the largest crowd in the history of the University of Nevada basketball. They were in the rafters. And that's what we need on Sunday to give that edge, that home court edge, against a really good team that we need to beat.
There you go. Coach, we'll see you down there on Sunday. Thank you very much. Oh, we'll see you on Saturday down at the big celebration rally, which will be great.
Yes, looking forward to that also. Look forward to see you guys there.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, bye-bye.